Hello and welcome to a new video, and today we are going from Berlin-Karow to Schmachtenhagen on the so-called Heidekrautbahn, and here on the map you can see our route today. Heidekrautbahn translates to Heather Railway, and our train today is a Bombardier Talent, and here we can see it arriving at the S-Bahn station Berlin-Karow. Let's take a look into our train today. The Bombardier Talent is a regional train powered by diesel engines, and its name stands for Talbot's Leichter Nahverkehrstriebwagen, which translates to Talbot Light Suburban Railcar. It is in an all two class configuration, but it used to have a first class. You can see here the last seats are in a first class configuration with the red seats. There's more space and a bit more comfort and bigger tables, but it's declassed and now it is also second class. Here we are leaving the S-Bahn tracks. The S-Bahn Berlin has a bus bar on its side, so that's quite unique to see a diesel rail car using a rail with a bus car, but here it's happening every 30 minutes. As most of the trains of Heidekrautbahn are ending in Berlin-Karow, just a few of them go on to Berlin-Gesundbrunnen. If this is the case, these trains are not stopping in Berlin-Karow. For now we are on the railway line Berlin-Karow-Fichtengrund, which is nowadays the only access to the Heidekrautbahn that nowadays consists of a few railway lines which are all bundled together in Basdorf, and many of them are not in use anymore. So nowadays there's only two railway lines, all starting in Berlin-Karow and going to Basdorf, and from there either on to Schmachtenhagen or to Groß-Schönebeck. We are going to Schmachtenhagen today. We are now approaching the station of Schönwalde. Here you can hear our train. Right after the station of Schönwalde, we are meeting with the railway line from Berlin-Wilhelmsruhe, which is currently not in use. There are a few heritage trains a few times a year, but no regular passenger service. This is supposed to be changed in the next years. In 2020 there was first constructions started at the reconstruction of the station Berlin-Wilhelmsruhe. In 2023 the constructions will start with rebuilding the railway line from Basdorf to Berlin-Wilhelmsruhe, and in December 2024 there should be regular passenger trains between Berlin-Wilhelmsruhe and Basdorf. Basdorf is the station that we just left here, and here we have a junction with two railway lines, one going to Groß-Schönebeck, and we are going on the other one to Schmachtenhagen with the station of Zühlsdorf and Wensickendorf in between. Most trains end in Wensickendorf. They do not go on to Schmachtenhagen. Only the trains on Saturdays and Sundays go on to Schmachtenhagen. That is because there used to be a big and famous farmers market at Schmachtenhagen, which is nowadays unfortunately closed and demolished. But still the trains are going to Schmachtenhagen, but only on Saturdays and Sundays. That's why we are going to Schmachtenhagen today, as it is Saturday today, and I wanted to take the chance to see this railway line to Schmachtenhagen. Nowadays it's part of the Heidekrautbahn, which means Heather Railway, as it is ending in Schmachtenhagen. But it used to be the railway line Berlin-Karow-Fichtenberg, as the trains used to go on from Schmachtenhagen to Oranienburg, from where you have further connections, for example to Neustrelitz or back to Berlin. But this part is closed down, and here we are reaching Schmachtenhagen, which is nowadays the end of the line. It's also quite interesting for hikers, as you are in the nature here, but as it was freezing cold today, I was the only passenger who was going all the way to Schmachtenhagen, and the trains do have quite a long layover here, so I plan to take the same train back to Berlin. This area that you can see here now used to be the farmers market, which is demolished. And as you can see, the tracks used to go on, as I said, to the city of Oranienburg, but nowadays, as you can see, this is the end of the line. And as there was not too much to do and it was freezing cold, I headed back to my train. This time I'm sitting in the regular second class, the other end of the train. And as you can see, it's quite tight, but at least there is a table available, but no other equipment like power sockets or something else. And now we're leaving Schmachtenhagen, going back to Wensingendorf, which, as I said, is the regular end of the trains on weekdays. And here in Wensingendorf there is another branch line going on to Liebenwalde. This one is also not in use currently, but there are plans to reactivate it. There was a short trial in 2007 with trains going on from Wensingendorf on to Zehlendorf, which is the next station on this nowadays closed line. But it was not too successful with only 40 passengers a day. But now there are plans to try it again, having trains going to Zehlendorf. So this might be happening in the future again. And there are also long-term plans to reactivate the whole railway line back to Liebenwalde. Meanwhile, we arrived back in Basdorf, and here we saw the other line from Groß-Schönebeck. Groß-Schönebeck is also called the gateway to the Schorfheide. Schorfheide is a big heathland area north of Berlin, and that's also why the railway line has its name Heidekrautbahn or Heather Railway. But we are now going back to Berlin-Karow, the S-Bahn station, and from there we are taking the S-Bahn back to the center of Berlin. In most cases you have to change trains here in Berlin-Karow. There are also a few trains going on to Berlin-Gesundbrunnen, but only in the peak times. Most of the day you will need to change trains here in Berlin-Karow, but this is no problem at all. As you can see, it's a very convenient change. I'm just leaving the train here. You see it now in time lapse, just heading across to the other side of the platform and stepping on board the S-Bahn, the rapid transit system of Berlin, and going on to the center of Berlin. And that's it for this video. I hope it was interesting for you. Here you can see the name of the song and when the next video will be uploaded. And as always, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider to comment, like, subscribe or share a video link, and I hope to see you in my next video.